Welcome, guys, and welcome to Guide to Glory. I am Yash Gandhi, and I am going to guide you to get glory in the first year of MBBS. So basically, I am going to telling you some of the points which, if you know at the beginning of your journey of first year MBBS, or for that matter at any stage of first year MBBS, then you would make your journey a very smooth, and it will be very easy for you to get very good marks and also enjoy your first year MBBS. So let's start. So, what is the most important thing in first year MBBS? It's study. Why? Because your first aim and your main aim is to become a doctor. You have entered your medical college to become a doctor. You have cleared your NEET exams and you have done all the hard work just to become a doctor. Many a times what happens that in the verge of getting enjoyment in college and enjoying the so-called college life, they forget their main aim, that they have come here to study. So it should be like study, and with it other things should be done, that along with the study you can have enjoyment, you can have fun, you can watch movies, you can watch web series, you can play different sports, you can participate in various events, you can do a lot of things, but your main aim should be study. It should be like study plus other things, and it should not be like other things and with it you do study. Now, the next most important question would be what to study. So the answer is IMPs. IMPs means important topics. And each and every college, you have some important topics which are given to you. That these are the important topics which will be asked to you in exams. If you see previous year paper also, the topics which are given in IMP only, most of the questions would be that only. Only a few questions would be such which are not given as IMP topics. So your main aim should be to read IMPs. Now, you might be have heard from your seniors or your teachers that in the beginning you should read everything. Then at the time of exams you should read IMPs and so on. But remember my words and mark my words. The topics which are given as IMPs are IMPs not just for your exams. They are the important topics of the subjects, and they are important for your life also. As you practice as a doctor, these are the topics which are important. To give you an example, in anatomy, in the part of thorax, which are the most important topics? Heart and lungs, which is but obvious that maximum questions come from heart and lungs only, and maximum patients which you are going to face would be having problems of heart and lungs only among the thorax region. There are several topics given in thorax, and there are other diseases of thorax as well, but they are not that common. But the disease of heart and lungs, they are very common. So the most important thing is to learn is heart and lungs. So it makes sense that first you should read IMPs. I am not telling you not to read IMPs. You read first the topics which are most important, then you read which are important, and then you can read topics which are not important. But believe me, your maximum time will go in just reading the most IMPs also. That also, it might be possible that you might not be able to complete all the IMPs. So so that should be the study order. In that way, you will be able to at least cover the topics which are really important and some of the basic topics which you should know at the end of first year MBBS. If you know topics which are not important, and if you know topics which are not that important, and if you don't know topics which are important, then makes no sense, and that is of no value. Now, the next question would be from where to study? Books, videos, notes, lectures, etc. So you can study from anywhere you want. Each and every student has a different way and different pattern of reading. It's not like that in college you have to read this and this only from this and this books only, or by this way only, by seeing these videos only, by attending the so and so lectures and so videos, etc., etc. You can read in whatever way you want, but the most important thing is to study. It is not that you will qualify or you will get knowledge from one book or one video only. You even if you don't follow that book and you follow any other book, then also you will be able to get knowledge and you will be able to qualify. But the main important thing is to study. Yeah. So that is the point about study. And the next point which comes is, I have seen many students and many of my colleagues and many of students who run ahead of it. They might be doing different, like in first year the subjects are anatomy, physiology, and biochemistry, but they would be studying pathology or pharmacology, or they might be even reading medicine, which are medicine is a fourth year, final year subject, and pathology, pharmacology are second year subject. So these topics are to be read when you reach that year, means in second year, final year. So the important thing is to do first year in first year, not going ahead and extra. Focus on whichever year is it is going on and whatever is being taught to you. Master that, go perfect that, and then if you get time, which I'm sure you will not get because the medical syllabus is really vast and it is very difficult to complete it, and and frankly it is not required as well to do second and final year subjects in first year. So my advice would be to just focus on first year in first year. Now, you might be saying that you have told a lot of about studying, and like, are we here to study only? We have been studying hard for 12 years in, and don't know what from how many years you all might be studying really hard. So shouldn't we enjoy it, not even your college life? I'm not telling that. I'm not telling you to enjoy. You have to enjoy. You can enjoy. You have to do other things also along with the study, because just studying will make you bored and make you frustrated. So it's also important to unwind sometimes and to have some free time. Now, most of the students, what they do for enjoyment, they usually watch movies or web series. So I'm not against fully against movies and web series. What I am telling you is, try to indulge in real fun. Try to play outdoor sports, indoor sports, try to listen to music, or even say instrument, learn an instrument. If you have interest in a literature part, then write some quotes, poems. If you have interest in art and craft, then do painting, do whatever you want, but try to avoid virtual fun, because it will be always be there. It is very much pleasurable and enjoying, but it will harm your eyes at some point, and also it has many other harmful effects. And leaving the harmful effects also, movies and video games, and they were there since a long time. They were there years before also, and they will be there years after also. They are not going to stop. But the amount of enjoyment and fun which you would be able to do when you are in first year MBBS, that you wouldn't be able to do when you have grown up. So that my basic advice would be to avoid virtual fun and to get real fun. Participate in your college events which are going to take place. Those college events will not come again. They might come in second year, but that time you would also be in second year. So that would be a completely different scenario. So those movies will be there, those web series will be there for years after also. Even if you want to watch those web series, you can watch it even after 5 years, 10 years, or 20 years. But if you want to participate again in your first year college events, you wouldn't be able to do it even after 1 year. Now, the next thing what you need to do in first year MBBS is become Bahubali. Now, what do you mean by becoming Bahubali? Do we have to become Bahubali in first year MBBS? Yes. How? So, who was basically Bahubali? Who is Bahubali? One who is fearless but is respectful. Now, you might have heard from your friends, colleagues, and even seniors and teachers that uh, be away from teachers. Don't talk with them much. Don't ask them too many doubts. If you come in the eyes of one of the teacher, then he will not spare you. He will not pass you. He will always remember you. So understand my one thing, that if you disrespect anyone, then no one would like it, and you should respect even your juniors, and for that matter anyone whom you meet. It's a basic human quality that you should A human should be respected towards their teachers. If you are ready to learn and you are ready to study, then you should be respectful towards your teachers. And you are respectful towards the teachers, then I think that that teachers are going to not spare you, as all say. So if you're respectful, then I say that you can ask as many doubts as you want, and you can interact as much as you want with your teachers. The teachers are very friendly and they are very good if you are ready to interact with them and you are ready to respect them. That's a basic thing, that you don't need to fear your professors or your teachers, but you just need to respect them, which is a basic quality which is required. So the next topic I am going to touch is about fitness. Now, this is more relevant for hostel students, but also somewhat relevant for local students also who live in localites. So the first thing which comes under fitness is diet. This point is especially for hostel students. Now, what happens for local students is that they live at their homes, so they are able to eat a healthier diet thanks to all their moms. That they are able to get good food at good frequency, and they are able to eat healthy foods on a regular interval, and they are able to remain healthy. But what happens to hostel students is that they sometimes skip meals. Even if they don't skip meals, they eat some junk food. They eat here and there, maybe eat some packets, or maybe eaten less, sometimes skipped meals and not having a balanced diet. So these are the things which happens with hostel students. So my basic advice would be, try to be regular in your diet and eat healthy food, because healthy food is very much necessary to keep your body healthy. If your body would be healthy, then you would be healthy and you would be able to be more efficient in whatever you do. May it be sports, may it be any extracurricular activity, or may it be studies. If you are healthy and if you're feeling good, then you will be able to remember and recall very easily. So the next point is exercise. Now, exercise is very important to keep yourself fit. As you know, as much important is that important is exercise. It is also important to increase your strength, your stamina, your endurance, and keep yourself disease free, which is very much clear from this COVID pandemic, that how much important it is to be fit and be have a very good immunity. So the fitness is also important to remain awake, or use what I would say, remain efficient for more amount of time, so that you can do more studies if required, and even you can manage your enjoying time and studying time and not getting exhausted in your daily life. So exercise is very important to have good fitness in your body. And the next important is sleep. This is the most important point as far as medical students are concerned, because what they do, they try to do everything in just one college year. They try to study as well, they try to enjoy as well, and for the in that matter they don't manage their time well, and they compromise on sleep to cover the syllabus. Now, you will study in your first year physiology also, when you will be taught sleep. And also you might be knowing how much important sleep it is for developing memory. The long-term memory which is formed is formed in deep sleep, when you're in deep sleep. So proper adequate sleep is very much essential to have good memory, to have good enough rest, so that your body would be charged up and would be ready for doing next day's work. So sleep is very important. Now, another point I would like to say is, each of these 3 points should be in a balance. I mean, you should not be full. You should be you should not go on starting to eat too much and become obese, or you should not indulge too much in exercise and just go on playing sports and sports only, just of the excuse of fitness, that you are spending so many hours on fitness and then not studying at all, and you are keep on sleeping and sleeping for hours and hours. So that should not happen. Each and everything should be in a balance. And as I had told in my very first point itself, that it is most important to study. So all these things should increase your efficiency in terms of your studies, in terms of your co-curricular activities, and not decrease its efficiency. Now, the next point, mass bunk. Now, you might be wondering, mass bunk is that thing which we have to do in first year MBBS? Really? So, I'm just touching the topic of mass bunk. So, isn't it the best way to get a holiday? Is it? Or is it the worst thing to do? Let's discuss. So, first of all, generally students make mass bunk whenever there is a link holiday. I mean, when there are 2 3 days holiday and then there is a Sunday coming up and one day there is not an holiday. So they try to do 1 or 2 days there are not an holiday. So they try to do mass bunk so that they get an extended holiday, and they are many hostel students especially, they are able to go to their homes. But what I want to say is that many teachers don't like mass bunk. Those who like mass bunk, you can first of all talk with your teachers if they agree, and if they are ready with you for a mass bunk, and if they say they will cover the topic again, then it's okay. But if they are not willing and they are strictly against it, then please don't do mass bunk. Mass bunk's concept has come from engineering colleges. What happens in engineering colleges is that if all the students are absent, then teacher simply cancels that day's attendance. But that doesn't happen in medical colleges. What happens in medical colleges is that if all the students are absent, then teacher marks absent of all the students. So your attendance is not done. So anyway, there is no point of doing mass bunk, and they will surely not repeat that topic also again, and they will also get hurt. So there is a strong possibility that whatever was going to be taught on that day, may it be a theory topic or may it be a practical topic, they will surely ask that in exams. They will surely ask that in exams. So what, and even personally also I feel that mass bunk is the worst thing to do, because first of all your attendance wouldn't be my, your topic also would get lost. So what you can do is that some of the students for whom it's possible to go, those students can go to college, other students can go home, so that there will be very less attendance. But as you are aware with all these things, that there is a very, no, I'm not going to tell you lies, that all students do proxy of their friends. Now I don't say it's a good thing to do, but generally all students do it. So those few students, though you of your friends who go that day on college, they can do a proxy, and they can also make notes of that thing, so of that topic which is being taught. So in that way, your attendance would also be marked, your topic, you would also get notes of their attendance, and teachers wouldn't also get angry. So in my opinion, you shouldn't do a mass bump. Still, it's up to you, because ultimately it's the best way to get a holiday. So this is a bit disclaimer. You can pause your video and read it if you want. And that's it from this video. Don't worry, I'm also going to make another video on how to read books and how to study, etc. So that's it from this video. See you guys in the next video. This is me, Yash Gandhi, signing off. Thank you.